So this is more Styx's wheelhouse because I acquiesce to him in terms of like hard politics, but to set it up, allegedly there was, I don't know, how are they spitting this, Styx? Are they saying, oh, it was a misfire, or that it was what? Are they
Yes.
saying it was okay? So
Netanyahu has claimed that this was a mistake, and last check there were 45 dead and several hundred injured. That's probably risen by now. And that comes
yeah,
at around the same time that there was a border firing where an Egyptian soldier actually apparently went rogue and fired on an IDF soldier and got brained.
yeah, he got ventilated. Yeah, yeah,
And so so people are hoping that it was just an accident over
yeah,
in Rafah. And keep in mind that Rafah is crowded with people. This is sort of the last kind of sort of city that's more or less intact in all of Gaza. And so if it gets leveled, if there's a problem there, I don't know exactly where everyone's supposed to go.
Well, I mean,
2 million people are displaced.
It essentially detonated in a tent neighborhood too. Like you
Yeah.
had no chance. The people that were there were vaporized. Like that was.
Yeah, this is the edge of, if I remember correctly, a refugee camp. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's from what I understand. Obviously people are not. If you're not 18 years old and you've been around for a couple of conflicts, this kind of stuff happens in every conflict, every single one. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying times are different now, where even like refugees in Palestine have smartphones, and you're seeing it. Like, I'm sure that they blew up countless civilian encampments in Iraq, or Lord knows during like World War II. Right?
Back then, for all of you,
for
all of you people younger than us, we had to watch that on CNN generally.
Yeah, right. So we saw it scrubbed. CNN was working for the war machine, so they were not calling it out. Now that I'm older, obviously I know when you're firing off a bunch of ballistics, some of them misfire. Obama famously, remember Obama in the hospital?
No,
wasn't that him? Didn't he have?
I thought that was under Bush.
At a hospital. Was it Bush?
Yeah, I mean they all did, but
yeah, basically all of them.
Yeah, it's always a mistake, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a thing. At some point,
that's another thing that I liked about Trump, because when he was reluctant to use force, but when he did, he just said, "Oh yeah, I did that.
He did great.
I dropped the mother of all bombs in an offensive fashion for the first time in since the 1990s or something, to flatten that Taliban target. Yeah, I did that. It was pretty fun too. I pressed the trigger myself."
This is from Obama. Yeah. October 3rd, 2015, U.S. airstrikes destroyed our trauma hospital. This is always one of those weird things that you learn as you get older, like even in Gaza, right? Like
how bloody war is.
Yeah, and when you have like Gaza, where like you have, the left will never want you to believe this. The left will say this is Jewish propaganda. I tend to believe that this is true. It might be both. I don't know, but where you have Terry's hiding in hospitals.
Oh, of course.
Like, what do you like? I'm confused why anyone would think that you wouldn't then blow that up. Like,
and that's why the war is so stupid, because on the one, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't attack the hospital, well, then Hamas is in there. If you do attack the hospital, of course there are going to be civilians in there. It's a hospital. Yeah. And so is Israel is fundamentally incapable of winning the optics war, and always has been. The only caveat is that the leftoids that are really pro-Gaza, and in some cases outright pro-Hamas, within the Western countries, especially the United States, somehow they're optically worse.
Yeah, and they're also going to be the primary reason that Joe Biden loses his election. I think
it's definitely playing a role. Yeah,
these are people that voted for him in 2020. I guarantee it. Rashida
Tlaib said the other day, vote against Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you should vote against Biden. Vote for Trump.
I actually agree with Rashida Tlaib. Yeah,
clip that. So what happens? So Israel does a bad. this stuff happens in war all the time. I don't say that to dismiss it. I just say that to apply.
It's like mice
some
and men. I
context.
done a really bad thing.
Yeah. The question is like, where was it supposed to hit? You know, like we don't know. I don't know. It's nobody's going to stop Israel right now. They're doing whatever the hell they want, and they're just basically pressing it right up against the line because the U.S. government is ball washing for them all the time, and so they're like, they know the United States isn't going to say shit. Like,
well, they try to, but Netanyahu just ignores Biden. He shrugs his shoulders and says, "Yeah, fuck you."
Well, look what happened when he tried to hold back their weapons. They were going to try to impeach him. Like when Biden said, "Oh, well, we're not." That was last week, right? We're not going to send you the bombs until
there are a bunch of red lines. They've all been crossed. Just like Biden had said, "Do not go into Rafah." What do the Israelis do? They immediately seize the Rafah crossing. What does Biden do? He says, "Well, that's not really crossing a red line."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All they did was take the border crossing. Yeah, okay, we'll accept it.
Come on, man.
Then, Netanyahu can put boots on the ground anywhere in Rafah, and he's going to make excuses for it. And Netanyahu knows this.
Biden is caught between the most pickliest pickle that it's ever pickled. He's so fucked. Yeah, like he is. That's what there's no a better word for it. Yeah, it's like,
I hate to see people suffering, but at the same time, I am very glad that our political winds are shifting so easily.
Yeah, he's losing the woke left. He's lost it. They're not going to vote for Trump because Trump is also a big
drunk.
Trump's also a huge Israel guy.
Yeah.
If Trump was president during this, he probably would have given them more weapons. The difference is that Trump wouldn't have lost a bunch of voters for doing that. Oh, maybe.
The other thing is that if Trump had been elected in 2020 instead of Biden being selected, I don't think Hamas would have done its incursion in the first place. Well, I genuinely don't believe. I genuinely don't believe they would have done that. It's peace through strength.
Yeah, I think that they would not. They wouldn't have done it because Trump would have just put boots on the drop. Trump would have probably put boots on the ground.
He would have said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I think he would have. I think it's a terrible thing, and then he'd go in there and
the United States is hereby annexing the Gaza Strip.
Right, I mean,
this is ours
crazy?
now.
Yeah,
we're gonna put an air base there and a big, beautiful, Taco Bell and
yeah, McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Walmart.
And Coca-Cola vendors.
Congratulations,
Diet Coke.
Yeah, you've been, yeah, and then the Trump Tower, obviously.
We warned you for 70 years, and you wouldn't listen to us. So we're just, I don't know. We're just gonna take you over.
What do you? I mean, I know we're like saying that in jest, but like, I would not have.
I don't know that it's 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if that's what was like, you don't know with Trump, you might have just been like, you know what, that's it. Like. He didn't play around with terrorists. Like he was, I don't know, but I do think he'd been like, yeah, chat, like you've been Americanized. Like,
just to be clear, the mother of all bombs that he dropped on that one Al-Qaeda target that one time, I'm pretty sure that fuel air bomb has like 20 tons of blast or something like that. Like it's equivalent to dropping 20 entire pallets of TNT on a target.
Man,
I don't think you do that lightly.
No. So I think Netanyahu is going to get himself in a little bit of a pickle. Although, some people in both of our audiences, like, look, I mean, I'm not going to not acknowledge that there are some people in my viewership that have very strong opinions about one side or the other here. Opinions that I'm not educated enough to understand where they're coming from, but
in some cases it's very simple. It's just I don't like Muslims or I don't like Jews.
Yeah.
There are some people in that,
that does exist. Yeah. But for me, like some people might think, oh, Netanyahu's just going to keep doing whatever. I don't know. Like Biden really can't stop him. Biden can't. Like
Biden can't even stop his bowel movements.
Yeah. maybe he goes, what do you think about a Biden Hail Mary, like suddenly flip? No, he's not going against Israel. He won't be alive. I was like, the only thing he could really do is
impeached. He would get impeached and removed instantaneously.
Yeah, he's screwed. He can't.
They would love to. They would love to have him out. They'd be like, "Oh, thank fucking God, he's gone. We'll get Kamala next, and maybe Booty Judge, Gay Dracula. Maybe he can be our candidate."
Gay Dracula, yeah, yeah. He's bad.
He's younger, and he can string 2 or 3 sentences together without making a massive grammatical error.
Oh, Booty Judge, yeah. Plus, he can effectively. He's good. He gets good value on buying his gabies. Yeah. So this is not good. This is just going to. I think this is going to inflame the demonstrations. It's going to put more pressure on Biden. Trump.
Well, that's good for us because we don't want him reelected. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to end up 45 dead. How many injured? 100 injured. I'm guessing in Palestine, it probably has close to 75% fatality rate if you're on the injured list. There'll be 100 people that die from this.
Yeah.
Civilians, allegedly. Now, what's interesting is it'll be I'm surprised Israel didn't deny it and just blame it on the Terries. I'm surprised because it seems like that is a common thing that gets said. But I think
they couldn't really deny it because of the size of the casualty number. And so they just said, "Oh shit, we accidentally dropped that bomb."
Well, remember all the skepticism around when one of the Terrys misfired like a SAM or something like that, and it went off in the parking lot. And Israel was like, Israel had to have every single piece of video evidence of that, and people are still like, "No, it was Mossad." I was like, well, you can actually see them fire it. You can see it misfire. You can see it land in the parking lot. I think it wasn't Hamas. It was one of the other groups, I think. But like
Hezbollah?
It might have been Hezbollah. But there's so much fog of war. There's so much, Mossad. There's so much. I'm just surprised that Israel was like, yeah.
A lot of intrigue.
Oopsies, 45 dead, 240 wounded.